Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I think today is gonna be my first ever Q&A on this new channel. I'm excited. I asked you guys to ask me questions on Instagram and I actually have not even looked at them yet, so it's going to be quite a surprise. I sometimes feel apprehensive about doing Q&As because I feel like I don't want you to think my answer is like the best answer, the only answer, and the final answer. Like, I feel if I looked back on my old Q&As today, I would feel so cringe about them. So, you know, as time goes on, you gain more wisdom, you learn more things, and you change your opinions on things and stuff like that. But anyways, let's chat. Let's chat today and see what's going on. Let's hang out. If you're new, this is my new channel that I created earlier this year. It's all about health and wellness, recipes, meal prep, working out, all those things that I really enjoy. I try to put up a new video every Monday and just kind of hang out with you guys. Of course, right now, I am just about 22 weeks pregnant, so we're dealing with that too, but we're feeling good. We're relaxed and cozy, hanging out on the couch. I just want to do something kind of chill. I will get back to more like really in-depth, planned out videos as soon as I possibly can. But right now, I need kind of chill, laid back, easy videos. So let's pull up these questions. All right, let's start with a fun, easy one. How are you liking Florida and your new home? So coming up this April, it'll be 3 years since we moved to Florida. We bought this house just like a few months after moving here. We renovated it and we've been living in this house now for a little bit over a year. In July, it was a year. So it's been a little bit over a year and we're loving it. I think definitely when we bought this house and when we renovated this house, we were dead set on that our family was complete with 2 kids. And so the bedroom situation, it has to be finagled a little bit. But I will say that I am really happy with our move to Florida. Like, ultimately, I know that I will, never leave Florida unless all of my family picked up and left. And then of course I'd want to be near them. But like, we just absolutely love it here. And it's been really great that our family has followed us. My sister and her husband live in Miami. My mom and dad live here about 15 minutes down the road. They actually live in the same neighborhood that our condo is in. And then Michael's parents own a home in that neighborhood as well. And hopefully they'll get to move down here within the next few years as well. So we just love being able to see our family all the time and be with them. Like, that is number one for us. I get a lot of questions of like, how did you leave your family and stuff like that? So when we were living in Nashville, we didn't really have family around. Michael's sister did move there eventually, but we didn't really have family. And so that was tough. That was really challenging, especially when we were younger and Michael's job, like when we first got married, didn't allow for much travel, or we were just not experienced travelers. Like, it just felt daunting to kind of always have to figure out a plan to see your family. So I definitely sympathize with those of you that want to move but don't want to leave your family. I know when you have that close dynamic, it's just like you're pulled and where you want to live, but you're pulled and you like want to be near your family. So I understand how like that could be a challenging decision. I'm just so glad that our family came here and that we get to see them all the time. I think that's just like the best thing, especially as a parent, having your kids grow up with their grandparents. We, don't have to have any help in terms of sitters or nannies or anything like that. If we need help because I have an appointment or a meeting or Michael has something, like, our parents are pretty much always there. So that's really honestly the best thing. And then we just love the vibe of Florida. We love the laid back living. We love our area specifically. We're in the Sarasota area. It's just beautiful. It's clean. The people are friendly and nice. There's so many people that have lived here their whole life, and they're welcoming and kind. And so many people that have moved here from other areas, and they're just excited to meet new people. So yeah, ultimately, I'll be completely honest with you. We loved the neighborhood that our condo is in. We still own that condo. We just have renters in there. And when we moved to this neighborhood, we thought it would be quite a similar vibe. I don't think it's exact though. Like, we definitely spend a lot of time in that neighborhood still. Obviously our family lives there. We still have the condo there. So we spend a lot of time there golfing and swimming, going on golf cart rides, and just like hanging out with our families, going out to eat. Here, it's just kind of like, this is our neighborhood. Like, it's beautiful. We love going on walks around here. All of our neighbors are nice, but it doesn't have quite the same like community vibe. This is a lot bigger neighborhood. And in our other neighborhood, like, we knew everybody there. But as far as our home goes, like, we really love our home. I think because we renovated it, we expected to have no issues. And it would be similar to like moving into a brand new house. And we've definitely felt the issues of moving into a 20 plus year home, especially with all the hurricanes that have hit Florida the past few years. So that's been like, it's just kind of like little things, but it's just like one random big expense after another. But when I've talked to people that have like built houses, it seems like they had the same issues. I think it's just, there's so many people like living here and moving here that it's just kind of one of the issues is that you just kind of have to do a lot of upkeep on your house. So I don't think that if we lived in a different house, there would necessarily be like something different about it. But like, I love our house. We love everything that we did to renovate it. We love the backyard. We love the kitchen. Like we love the neighborhood. We love the area. So yeah, if we ever did move in the future, it would just be back to that old neighborhood. But as far as like size of home goes, they don't have any homes there that are bigger. And like I said in the beginning, like our only problem here is that we kind of would need one more bedroom, but we definitely would not get that if we moved there, which we wouldn't be opposed to. I think when we bought this house, we were like, this is dead set. Like we're moving, we're staying here forever. This is our forever home. And obviously with baby coming, things change, but I think it's all, you know, for the best and for a reason. But yeah, Michael's like, should we look into moving? I mean, like, I'm like, I am not moving. You are not getting the pregnant lady to move. Like, I am not doing that. So if we stayed here for the rest of our lives, I would be A-okay. But as the kids get older, if they want their own rooms or things like that, we'll see. But as far as right now, like, I love being in a smaller house. Our Nashville house was very big and very overwhelming and really hard for me to keep up with. This is just like the cleaning, the organizing, like the day-to-day tasks and stuff. It's a lot more manageable for me. So I love being in a smaller home and we love Florida. But yeah, no one has asked me if we were gonna move because of the baby, which I thought was kind of funny. But maybe you guys just don't know like the bedroom situation. But yeah, there's only like 3 bedrooms. So anyways, we'll see. Okay, this is like a really random question, but you guys keep asking how is Michael and where is Michael? So basically, we used to have a vlog channel. If you're new to our channel and you never subscribed to my other channels, I started my other channel. It was mainly beauty and hair focused. That's the industry I was working in. That's why I started that channel. And we kept that channel just me. And then we started the vlog channel when we got married and we upload on there like all the time and we loved it. As we got deeper into parenting, we kind of came to the conclusion that sharing our kids online was something we weren't comfortable with. So we slowly kind of stopped vlogging. And it was also something that we just didn't find a need for anymore in our lives. Like we felt the sense to be more private, probably also for our family and for our kids, you know. It was just something that we felt called to do and that we felt strongly about. So we decided to stop vlogging and then we ended up privating that channel. And yeah, it's just for privacy reasons. I just feel like as your kids get older and as the internet has changed, I mean, when I started my YouTube channel in 2011, the internet and YouTube was so different than it is today. And just to protect them and to protect our family and our privacy, we just don't feel like vlogging is serving us anymore. So that's the answer there. And by the way, I'm just always out of breath right now. Sorry. But as far as Michael goes, he's perfectly good. He just took Rocco to the park right now. Yeah, he thinks that's a funny question. He's like, we don't vlog anymore. Why would I be in like your workout videos and stuff? But yeah, I think he also just realized that like, I think he feels like for himself, posting on social media is just not something that he feels is necessary. You know what I mean? Like, I think he values his privacy now and he is busy with other things and just doesn't really have an interest to share online anymore. And so that's kind of where we're at. Of course, if he's like in a video with me or something, like he's perfectly fine with that and he's okay with that. But yeah, I think ultimately it just comes down to, as parents and as a family, we value our privacy. And it's something that we just really want to protect our kids. It's actually kind of funny because the other day, Julian, we were coming home from school and he's like, Mommy, how come some of these kids like have YouTube channels and they play with toys and they do all this stuff and, you know, and we don't do that. And I was like, well, you know, a lot of those kids that have those channels, it is like their job and they don't go to regular school and they have to spend time every single day working at this job. And I was like, I just thought that's something that you would not enjoy. And he's like, oh yeah, I would not enjoy that. No, thank you. I don't want to do that. I don't want any part of that. So that kind of felt like, okay, we made the right decision on that. But yeah, Colby also doing well. Michael and the kids all doing good. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of questions about like my thoughts about having a third boy. Did I have gender disappointment? Are we gonna try for a fourth child and hope for a girl? Kind of like questions like that. And I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I had no gender disappointment. I was very excited to find out it was a boy. It's funny, I was actually just talking to some moms at school about this today. Like, I feel very confident in being a boy mom now that I have almost 7 years experience in it, right? Like, I just felt really confident in my abilities as a boy mom, and the thought of having a girl, like I was like, I will legitimately be nervous. I don't know why, like it just is so, it would be like it would be like being a first time mom again. And those of you that have like, you know, a boy and a girl or two boys and a girl, whatever, like all the different combinations, you'll have to let me know. But like, I obviously don't know any different now, but I was like, if it's a girl, I'm gonna legitimately be nervous. Like, there's just so many things. I mean, with boys too, but you know, you just like think, obviously as a girl myself, I just think about like how hard preteen years were and teenage years, and you're just like, I'd have to figure all this out. And like, I don't know. So to be completely honest, we would have been over the moon, thrilled either way. We were very excited for a healthy baby. That's the only thing I cared about. But I do have to say, I did feel a little bit of relief when they said it was a boy. I was like, phew, okay, I got this. I know what I'm doing. And then if we're going to try for a 4, no. Michael would probably say, over my dead body, are we trying for a 4th? So no, we don't have any plans for another. Like I've told you guys in the I'm pregnant video, we had contemplating having a 3rd, and we kind of thought about it for a few months, and then we were like, you know, probably not. Like, it was a new thought for us. It was something that once Rocco kind of got out of like diapers and the baby phase, and it was like, whoa, things are kind of easy now. Like, do we want to consider a 3rd, or do we want to just like enjoy this easier phase? And we were like, let's just kind of enjoy this. And God was like, I have other plans for you. So we enjoyed those, I don't know, a couple of months where we thought it was just going to be the 4 of us. And now we're just like, what were we thinking? I cannot believe we even thought that we weren't going to have a 3rd. Like, it just feels so right for our family, especially when we like finalized his name. We were having trouble with his name. I feel like probably because like, how do you come up with 3 boys' names? Or like people that have 4 boys or 5 boys. I'm like, how do you come up with so many boys' names? And it was kind of funny because like with Julian and with Rocco, I felt like especially with Rocco's name, Michael and I felt like we were almost finding out his name. Like, his name had already been set, and we just needed to uncover it and find it. And we had never spoke about names that we like. We spoke about names that we liked, but we never spoke about the name Rocco. And one day we both came to each other at the same time and said, I randomly thought about the name Rocco. What do you think? And we were like, wait, I was thinking that. Wait, I was thinking that, you know? And so we wanted that to happen again, and it did. And we had a name, and then for a couple different reasons, we felt like iffy on it. And we were like, I don't know, maybe we're wrong. Maybe this isn't his name. And so we had a couple other like backup names. And then we decided on a middle name. And I was like, when you put the 2 together, that's it. That's perfect. It was like, I found his name again. I don't know. It's the weirdest feeling. If you've experienced, you probably know, but it was literally like, I know his name has already been picked. I just need to uncover it. I just need to find it and figure out what it is. But it doesn't feel like I'm choosing it. It feels like I'm finding it. I don't know. It's really weird, but now we have a name set. I don't even know if people ask that question, but I kind of went off on a tangent. I'm seeing a couple questions about like, to explain our work and our business now that we don't have the vlog channel or we don't have our businesses and stuff like that. So I'll give you guys a little quick rundown on that. And it's kind of like I said, like with the vlog channel, we just felt called to a simpler life, and a life that wasn't so focused on work. And we are extremely fortunate and extremely blessed that my job as a content creator is financially enough to cover the lifestyle that we want to live. And I think maybe you can tell if you followed me for a long time that I really enjoy work, and I enjoy like the business aspect of it and creating. I enjoy creating, and I am definitely like, I have, especially in the past, been quite a workaholic, and like I just loved to do more, to have more on my plate, to have new projects, to have things going on. And just as my kids got older and as I got more into motherhood, I really fell in love with that and really realized like that is my number one mission in life. And once I started to feel like my job was just taking up more of my time than was necessary, and I wanted to spend all my time with my kids. Like I wanted to do like, not to say I want to do like as little as possible with work, but basically like I in some ways did, you know what I mean? Like I want to spend all day with my kids or as much time with them. I want to be intentional with them. And I also want them to grow up and not seeing me like looking at the back of a phone or always on calls or always on the computer. Like I wanted my job to be something where when they're at school, you know, I'm working, but when they're home, I'm present with them and I enjoy time with them. I'm not stressed out from work. It was also something where Michael and I really missed just working together. We had employees for quite a few years, and we just really missed doing it together, like doing it just us two and kind of having it be a small thing. And I think it was just kind of this decision. It was just too much on my plate, honestly, for me to be the kind of mom and wife and friend and sister and daughter that I wanted to be and person that I wanted to be while doing all of this. And I think if you are like a business owner or an entrepreneur or, you know, you work for yourself, anything like that, I think there comes a time where your small business is kind of like you've done everything you could do. And now you kind of have to decide, do you want like to give your life to this business? Or do you want to let your business kind of stay and be steady and spend time with your family? And that's ultimately what I decided. And I think it's something you're used to seeing probably on social media is people go the opposite way. They do, and they just start just including their family as like cast members in their content, and they just dive into their businesses. And I think if that is your calling and that's what you feel is best for you and your family, then of course that's what you choose to do. But I just know for me, there was just so many different like little aspects that I was like, this is just not what is meant for my family. And I also just didn't want my kids growing up valuing just like work and money over family. Not that those things aren't important, but I just did not want them to think that I valued them over family or that they should either. Ultimately, like I love creating content. I love making videos. I love sharing. I love being here. Like this creating videos especially is just what I know I'm meant to do. I just enjoy it. I have so much fun doing it. It's actually why I started like my members only videos. It's just something that I was like, this is something I want to do, I can do, I know I can keep up with. So if you're unfamiliar, we had like a clothing line, and just the time that went into manufacturing, developing, product cost, shipping, marketing, advertising, just all of it. Like there was just so much involved. And even in the back end of like all the different websites that you need to belong to host everything, and employees and legal teams and stuff like this. It was just so much work and time and money. And not only was it taking away from my family, but it was taking away from the career that I had built for so many years and that I loved so much, which was creating content. And I really felt that I really wanted to get back to creating videos. So that's ultimately why we closed it. So yeah, I could go on about this forever, and I have a lot of deep thoughts about it, but there's something that's hard to just share openly with like anybody that's watching, you know? Like if I was talking to you one-on-one, it might be like a deeper, longer conversation, just about the industry and about myself and how I've changed, and maybe even it's not that the industry has changed, it's that I've changed, right? And I just feel a need to be more private, a need to just really prioritize being intentional as a mom and intentional in terms of what they're seeing me do and how they're seeing me act and those things, and also protecting them in terms of their privacy and at school and stuff like that. And so what it comes down to is, instead of trying to just come out with the next biggest thing or the newest thing, or even trying to create viral content anymore or anything like that, I just try to keep the subscribers that I have happy, to educate them, to entertain them, to serve you guys, to serve like any of you watching. Like, my main purpose here with this new channel was to just serve others, to share my knowledge, to share entertainment, to just be like a cozy little spot you can come to and find inspiration, or just like relax and have fun, or be educated on certain topics. Like, that's all that I'm here to do, is to serve others. So yeah, it took a lot of thought and a lot of just back and forth on like, do we close this vlog channel down? Do we close this main channel down? Do we close these businesses down? Like, I also had my coaching business where I was helping other people start their like online business. And it was a matter of, what is the best way I can serve people? And that's through video content. And I felt like my main channel had just gotten, I think I've shared this before, but just way too big, and I didn't feel like an emotional connection. I didn't know who I was talking to, and it felt so broad, and I don't know, like, there's just so much I could say, but I think you kind of get the point. Is basically, I just really, the word I always come back to is, I just really wanted to be intentional with what I was sharing, what I was doing, what my career looked like, what my home life looked like. And that was something that when we moved to Florida was a big goal of ours, was just to really simplify our lives, to really prioritize the important things like values and morals, to share that with our kids, to bring their faith to be like the forefront of their lives and our lives. And I feel like that's just been our main goal. And so if businesses, go up and down, that's what it is. But that's been our main goal, is to just really focus on our family. There was someone that said baby name talk. So yeah, we have his name. And it was kind of funny because I went and bought like a little baby blanket, because I was like, I just need to see what his name looks like written out on something, and like personalize something. So I bought like a little baby blanket, and I was like, yep, I love it. It was so cute. Do you and Michael always agree on home decor for the house? Yes. I feel like that's something that I always see on Instagram, like when I'm scrolling and stuff, like, and I'm just like, whew, I'm so glad. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen those reels where like someone's like, me during the conversation when people are like picking apart their husbands or talking about fights they get into or things like that. And the girl's just like eating popcorn or something. And she's like, me with my husband, where we never argue or never fight. And it's like, I'm so glad we don't disagree on things like that, like decor or anything like that. Big things, little things, we're pretty much usually always on the same page, which is really nice. Okay, this kind of goes back to what I just answered, but someone said like, are you kind of quitting social? No, I'm not quitting social. Like I said, creating content and being here is my favorite thing in the world, and I just wanted to do more of that. I realized that, I think for a while I thought, because I had created this large audience on social, that the next step was to create a business and to have employees and to have like an office and to do all these things. And I was like, whoa, let me take all that back. Like, the reason why my job is so great is because I do have flexible hours, and because I can be home, and because I can keep it small and still make a great income for our family. And so that's what, I ultimately decided to do. And I don't know if this was in here too, but sometimes people ask what Michael does for work. So he does all like the stuff that you basically don't see in terms of our videos. And I know for some people, like, it's still kind of confusing. Like, how can this be your job? But it's very similar to like you would see on TV or see on like a streaming platform. So as far as all the ads, we create, produce, edit, post all the ads, and then all the original content we create, produce, edit, host, post all the original content. So there is a lot of work that goes into it to make it look effortless, but he does literally pretty much everything. I just sit down in front of the camera and do my thing and talk and chat, and he handles the rest, which is very nice because I have really gotten out of the habit of like being on my computer. So he does all the editing, he does all the linking, he does all the posting. Like, pretty much every single thing you see, Michael is the one actually like posting it, and I'm the one filming it. And he edits everything. He does all my contracts. He does all my emails. He does all of our legal stuff. He does all of our accounting and tax stuff. He does all of that. He's extremely helpful. And then as far as, anything else, we do it together. But my main thing that I do is just like coming up with the ideas for the content and being the one to actually like sit down and film the content. But he does pretty much everything else, which is very nice. And then, any of our rental property and stuff like that, he also does our rental property stuff. He does all that as well. Plus all the dad stuff and all the stuff around the house and everything. So I'm very grateful because I think we have a good partnership where we each really do like 50% of everything. Will you ever get into luxury goods or fashion again? I mean, never say never, but I really don't picture myself getting back into it. So again, that was like just a thing that I chatted about and talked about a lot on my main channel. From like a business aspect, I could see behind the scenes that whenever I posted about luxury goods, like I got a lot of new followers, I got a lot of new views, or I got a lot of new sponsorship opportunities, stuff like that. And it was just something that I could tell was doing really well on my channel. But I kind of just fell out of love with it. Like, to be honest, I really would rather like support smaller businesses or just find more unique things. I think when I first really fell in love with like luxury items, it was still somewhat like niche and somewhat unique. And what I loved most about it was like the hunt and like learning about the new collections and learning about new things. And like, I just really enjoyed like the YouTube community aspect of it even, or like the online community. Like it was just, I love diving into like different topics and different things and like learning everything. And so I really enjoyed that aspect of it. But when we moved to Florida, my style got a lot more casual just because it's really hot here and we're mainly doing like just running around with the kids and stuff. And it's just not something where I'm like ever getting dressed up, like basically ever. And so it almost felt like out of place to wear like my bags and shoes and stuff. It felt like I felt like I was being a little try hard. So if you still like it and you enjoy it and you love it, like you do you. I absolutely think that's super cute. When I see people with new bags, I'm always like, ooh, I like that bag. Like it looks super cute on you. But I just don't have a real big desire to get into it anymore. I actually sold most of my stuff. The rest of it I'm going to sell. I just have to find the time to do it. People have asked me where I sell it. I've sold everything to Fashionphile so far. There's a few things they didn't take. Like they didn't take my Neverfulls. I don't know why. Maybe they just don't sell anymore. I don't know. But yeah, there's a few things I didn't take. But it takes some time to like kind of upload everything on there and get a quote and then you send it to them and stuff like that. So yeah, I ended up getting rid of most of my stuff. It's just something I'm not super interested in. I think for me, it started as this like topic that I just wanted to learn about and I was super excited and interested in, and it slowly turned into something where it was like, I need to have it. I have to have it. And it was a quality that I wasn't liking about myself. To be honest, there were things that I really took a long, hard look at myself, and I knew my values and I knew the things that were important to me, and I knew that I was not prioritizing them. And like prioritizing spending money on luxury goods is not a priority to me anymore. And I don't think it's something that was doing any good in my life anymore, you know? So I felt like it's just another thing that as a mom, I don't want my kids growing up thinking you need those things to be worthy or valuable or cool or fashionable or anything like that. And they don't care, so why would I care, you know? So it's just something I'm no longer interested in. I also feel like just as a whole, there's nothing I find that cute anymore. I don't know, like if there was something that I thought was like, whoa, that's really cute, like I really want that, then maybe I would get it, but I've just not seen anything that I like have to have anymore. I'm also a lot less like flashy with my stuff. Like I don't like big logos and stuff on anything. So maybe that's part of it. I don't know. My style has just changed, you know, but I just don't have a love for it anymore. I didn't feel like it was serving me. I didn't feel like it was doing me any good. And yeah, so I just don't. What are you most nervous about? Having a third baby? Sleep. I think that's like, as far as baby life goes, I feel like that's the thing I'm most nervous about is just sleep. Because Rocco, he still doesn't like sleep through the night. So I think that's one thing that really, we were not ready for, because Julian was a good sleeper and he still is. And, you know, Rocco just, he likes to be with mommy at night and he likes to come in our bed. And it's funny, I was thinking about it. He doesn't even get like scared. Like he's not scared. He just wants to cuddle with us. And so it's like, how could I say no to that? So he sleeps in our bed a lot. And I think one thing I'm nervous for is just making sure that my two older kids get their sleep, especially on school nights and stuff like that, if the baby's crying or whatever, and then just making sure we get our sleep. I think that's so important. I did feel like, I don't know if I shared this or not, but I feel like when I had Rocco, I did have like a little bout of just postpartum like blues or depression. And I think a huge part of that was just the lack of sleep, honestly, and then just trying to recover from a C-section. So I'm hoping that no C-section this time, and I'm hoping for that. And I'm also hoping that this baby sleeps a little better. How are you preparing for a VBAC? So okay, let's talk about this for a second, and then I probably should stop talking. How long have I been going? Yeah, 45 minutes. Okay, this will be my last one. How are you preparing for a VBAC? Okay. By the way, thank you guys so much for those of you that commented on my video last week and you're like, I had a VBAC, it was an amazing experience and it was so worth it and you're gonna do great. Like those comments were very encouraging and just, it's so nice to read those stories. I love listening to birth stories. But as far as what I'm doing, let's talk physically, then let's talk mentally, because I feel like it's both. So quick rundown, I had Julian, my oldest, vaginally, and I had Rocco, my youngest, via C-section. And I'm hoping to have a VBAC for this third one. The reason I had him via C-section was because of my platelets, my hemoglobin, my anemia, stuff like that was getting low. And my doctor either wanted me to have an induction or a C-section. I definitely had some trauma and some healing to do still from my first birth. It was very hard on me emotionally. And at that time, I was just not ready to face it. I was not ready to go through it again. I was very scared. And I did not do the proper things I should have done to heal and to feel ready for it again. And so honestly, like, I don't regret it. But now being pregnant again post C-section, I'm like, whoa, I wish I would have maybe tried to just go for and do the induction. But I think everything happens for a reason. I think this time I know that I'm much more mentally prepared, but that's just a little rundown. So let's talk physically. Just trying to stay active, trying to eat healthy when I can, trying to eat a lot of protein, try to walk as many days a week as I can. I do just my walk around my neighborhood, 3-ish miles, and then walking around the house all day. I don't have an Oura ring on or anything right now because it was uncomfortable when my hands get swollen and stuff. So I just don't have anything. I don't know how many steps I'm getting, but do my walk every day. And then I do 2 strength sessions a week, 1 upper, 1 lower. I really want to keep the strength, especially in my glutes to help my core and my legs, and just to have that strength and have that power and endurance. And I do 1 upper a day too. For the first trimester, I was really good about also getting my Peloton classes and weekly and doing like a cycle session. I have not been very good about that the past 3 or 4 weeks. And then I do mobility and stretching before and after every workout. And I have 1 set like mobility session a week, which is kind of what you would do like with a PT, but I do the Mom Moves program from Madeline Moves. It's her Moves app. So that's what I'm doing physically. As I get closer into birth, if I feel that I need to go see a physical therapist about like my pelvic floor and stuff like that, I may do that. It's something I was considering. I'm not sure if you guys did it, let me know. But yeah, just trying to do a lot of mobility, a lot of stretching, a lot of like hip openers and pelvic floor and core work to just really just work on that area, and then keeping up with my walking and my strength to just keep up with my endurance, because I know for labor like, it can just get long and you need that endurance and you need that strength. So that's what I'm doing physically. Mentally, I really want to look into a birth course. If you have anything that you recommend, please let me know. I have been listening to a lot of podcasts and watching a lot of videos and kind of comparing them. I feel like choosing one by the time I go into the 3rd trimester would be kind of like the timeline that I'm thinking. So there's quite a few that I've looked at. But yeah, I really, really want to take a birth course just because I want to educate myself more and just know and just be more confident going into the hospital that like I know a little bit about what's going on. I know a little bit about what to ask, what to look for, all those things. So that's something that I really want to do. And then also I have just been doing a lot of prayer, a lot of time spent in my Bible, a lot of time praying rosary, just doing things like that. And I know that's something that I will heavily rely on when I'm in there, when I'm going through it. So that's something I just really want to focus on, is my mindset, and just knowing like your body's meant to do this, you're not alone, and knowing that it's so worth it in the end. I think my mindset when I was in labor with Julian, I was just really struggling. And I really struggle in pregnancy just throughout the whole thing, every time, just with my mindset. And so it's something I am very actively working on. I remember like when I first found out I was pregnant, I was like, okay, you need to focus on your mindset, and you need to stay positive, and you need to stay in this and know that it's temporary. And it truly does help me. I think it's just one of the symptoms that I don't hear people talk about. Like I hear people say, oh, pregnancy is hard for me, but like mentally it is very challenging for me to stay positive. I don't know why. And it's something that, it's not like I'm not grateful, because I'm so grateful to have a healthy baby. I'm so grateful to be a mom and to experience this again. It's just something where I just feel like a little down. And so I hope that I can stay mentally positive during birth. That is my goal. So, yeah, just doing a lot of reading, a lot of prayer, and meditating on that and focusing on that. It's just something that I'm really trying to prepare my mind. I almost feel like letting go of that fear and then just keeping my eyes on knowing like it'll bring my baby into this world, that will help me immensely. I think last time, vaginally, I felt like I was over here and my baby being born was 10 feet over there with like the doctors. And that, I don't know, I felt so disconnected from my body in the weirdest way. And this time I'm really focusing on just staying in tune with my body, staying connected to my body, staying connected to the baby, and just focusing on that and like really being a part of it more. It's the weirdest thing, I know, and some of you will know and be like, know exactly what I'm talking about, but yeah, I'm just focusing on staying positive, staying close to God, and staying in prayer, and just staying in tune with my body and what's going on, and really trying to feel things. I did have an epidural when I had Julian, and it did not work. So for those of you that are nurses watching this, or doctors or whatever, just let me know. Is there a higher chance that it won't work again if I get it again? Or is there a chance that it will work if I get it this time? I don't know, because I'm like, is it even worth it to try to get it if it's not going to work again? Or is it like a good percentage that it could work again and I should try? I don't know. I mean, we'll see, but that's the goal. Thank you guys so much for watching. I feel like we just hung out and had coffee together and chatted for an hour. I think this is probably going to be a really long video. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any other questions or comments or things you want to chat about, let me know. I've mentioned my members videos in here quite a bit, but basically it's just, like I said, we try to stay more private with like our day-to-day lives, but I do have those members videos for those of you that just really like miss that and you're interested in that, and it's kind of fun and we just hang out there. So that's down below, but thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you, and I appreciate you asking your questions and taking time out of your day to ask me a question and watch this video. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.